my favorite character to collect diecast variants of, and it's not very often that we see specific Mater variants get re-released. While Mater with Balloon isn't the most interesting Mater, and certainly isn't the most expensive Mater online, it's still so great to see him on store shelves again. Like I said, it's not that frequent that we see specific Mater variants make their way back onto store shelves. Anyway guys, welcome back to yet another review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the 2022 re-release of Mater with Balloon, a car that I don't have the original release of, hence why I picked up his re-release this year. This Mater was originally released in the 2016 95 Return series, and appears for about a minute in Cars 2, a minute total. He's a pretty minor variant though, you may not even notice that Mater has a balloon on his back. He appears when Lightning and Mater are returning home after the montage of their fun day, and Mater gets sad because Lightning wants to go off and have a date with Sally, hence the sad expression on the packaging and sort of bittersweet expression on the diecast. It's really cool to see this guy get re-released, and he fits with this year's theme of Cars 2 releases based off of the Radiator Springs scenes in Cars 2. It's pretty cool to get nearly the entire year's worth of Cars 2 diecasts based off of that theme. It's not very often that we get Cars 2 Radiator Springs cars, and it's just been so cool seeing all of the Cars 2 Radiator Springs characters. Really unique choice to focus on the Radiator Springs parts of Cars 2, since there is a lot there, and it's just, there's a lot of untapped potential there, so it's cool to see him revisit it. First we got the name tag there, Mater with Balloon, a choking hazard warning in a few different languages because the balloon is a small part, and let's just remember where the balloon is attached to Mater. Of course, we're going to plug it in here, and that seems pretty accurate. Mattel doesn't have the best track record, of course, with being accurate regarding where you plug in accessories for cars, but this seems pretty accurate. It seems that, yeah, the balloon is tied to Mater's tow cable assembly. It's not tied to the hook. It is tied up here, just like with the diecast. On the back, we have some more choking hazard warnings, and as seen in Cars 2 with Francesco, Otis, Chisaki, Lewis Hamilton, Sheriff. Of course, the Radiator Springs Townies this year are labeled as seen in Cars 2, because, I mean, they technically were in it, and again, we're mainly focusing on Cars 2 Radiator Springs themed cars, if you ignore them, and maybe ignore Francesco. And of course, at the bottom, the absolute legend artist Ramon Green. How could I forget? Sorry about that. Now, let's get this guy out of the package. Alright, so here we go. We've got Mater, and most importantly, we have the balloon. And yeah, you just plug the balloon on here. Of course, the whole thing is plastic, obviously. You just plug it in. Hold on. Can I do this? Can I do this without having to put the camera down? Hold on. Nope, we just dropped the balloon. Okay, I'm gonna have to cut the camera. We'll be right back. Alright, hold on. We're gonna try this on camera. Let's see. There we go. And this is probably, yeah, it's one of those very easily removable accessories, which is nice because if you don't want the balloon to be there, then you have a Mater with a unique expression. And it certainly is an interesting expression. It's definitely not as sad as the artwork shows Mater to be, but it still is a very unique expression for Mater. Like I said, it's kind of bittersweet, which is accurate to his expression in the movie, where he's kind of sad, but he understands that he and Lightning can go off and do all sorts of things together, like almost blow up several times, and that goes for both of them, because Lightning and Mater both almost blow up in Cars 2. Cars 2 is a very strange movie. I like how you could see a little grin peeking out of the side of Mater's mouth. Again, great job on the expression on this one. He has sort of a lighter brown color scheme going on in certain parts of him, which is typical for Maters that are made in Thailand. We have Tow Mater Towing and Salvage, Radiator Springs on the side. All your other typical Mater details. The tow cable assembly, again, in a bit of a lighter brown. That's just how Thailand does their Maters. Not the biggest fan of that because it's not that consistent with previous releases, but it definitely is a bit more movie accurate. Just look at how dark the brown on Blowing Bubbles Mater is. I think this color scheme is more accurate, especially to the Cars sequels. I brought Blowing Bubbles Mater here because he was the first Mater I could grab off my table. I just wanted to compare how the towing assemblies look. they look pretty much the same. They're about the same size, although this one is built more stably so that you could plug the balloon piece in, as you can see. And that balloon itself shows a volcano with something coming out of it, presumably water, that's labeled Kersploosh Mountain. Of course, a reference to the classic Disney ride Splash Mountain, which won't be there anymore in a few years. I think it's staying in Tokyo, though. On the back, we have the famous A113 license plate. And wow, that blue rust in Mater's back really pops. Another color choice by Thailand, I think. Just look at how subtle it is on Blowing Bubbles Mater. This is a Vietnam release, by the way, so maybe it's not the best comparison since they do some of their own things, too. There is a look at the other side. And finally, there is a look at the base. Honestly, the balloon could have been made better. You have this massive, obnoxious plastic seam down the middle. They didn't even bother to paint the string of the balloon, and the string's entirely too thick, which obviously is a stability thing. From a distance, it looks good. Does it really look like a balloon? Honestly, not really. I think having painted the part that's meant to be the string white really would have gone a long way, but whatever. This is such a minor variant. They didn't even need to make it in the first place, so it's just nice of them to have done it anyway. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye now.